on there that you'd like to see changed, I'll make those changes and bring them back to the next meeting.
Okay,
So then that way we can add those in, because I saw a few things on there for the administration portion that, like when the fee is taken, there's no place for, somebody needs to sign of who's actually taking this money, so that we have account for it and the date that it was taken, because it's not indicated on there, and I think that that needs to be on there as well.
well, in the zoning application, it does say fee paid, then it says check, and then after that it says check number.
Yeah.
I mean cash, so if it's cash, you write it down, but,
But I want a spot on there that whoever is physically taking the money needs to have their signature on there or their name printed on there so that we know who took the money.
Oh,
And so
yeah,
that
yeah,
they're
that's good.
accountable for that.
which on the bottom, I do sign my name, there's no, place for me to sign it, I just put it in there, that way it's,
So
covers everything.
we'll
But
make
it
some
would be
changes to
better-
that form.
Yeah.
Was there anything else?
No, that's it for now, until next time.
That brings us up to our new business. Do we wanna, continue on with Article 7 for next month's review?
No,
Why?
I don't.
She's
Okay,
like,
so
no.
here's the reason why. I mean, you can go ahead and start making your notes. I mean, I will a little bit, but I think that we need to, I'm gonna make up all the changes that we want to have done within 1 through 6. And then we need to review them
Okay.
to make sure that that's exactly what we want. And then we can start on 7, because I know the 7 is just as thick as 1 through 6.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, is it's going to be a lot to tackle. So, and knowing that we also have, you know, before we meet next, there's gonna be the holidays in there, fairs, there's lots of things going on between there, so it's a busy, busy time.
Now, so that brings, and I don't have an issue with that. Anybody else got an issue?
So I'm just saying that, we're not in a giant rush, I mean, not that I wanna drag it out, but I wanna make sure we do a good job too.
We do have, application by, Don Danby Strutter. That he wants to start a business over on Stanton Road.
Is he here tonight, or?
There's no review on it, yeah, I just
Oh,
wanted,
oh, you're just-
we've gotta get it mentioned so we can get the public review on it. I have sent everything.
You're fine.
On your emails about it.
Stanton Road where?
15,
Across from where Colors used to
731.
live, got that old John Deere in front yard. Across from where Colors used to live,
Yeah.
right there, that old John Deere and stuff in the front yard. He wants to start a lawnmower and snowmobile repair and stuff in there,
Oh,
sell parts and stuff for him.
now that's,
He's a nice guy.
So most of it will be off the internet. Some of it will be.
and that was the one that they had to have the owners
Yeah.
actual permission,
Yeah.
whether they're not married or whatever.
Yeah, 'cause he's gonna sell parts for lawnmowers and stuff like that out of there.
So can we get a public hearing notice on that? In, or state that we're having a public hearing notice on this one? And do we wanna do it on our next meeting, or do we wanna set a separate date?
Well,
He said in the next meeting, so the guy gets started.
I was gonna say
Exactly.
this, so.
so if we get,
What do we have?
we have to have 15 days for a public hearing.
Right.
We have to have 15 days notice, so let's say that Kathy gets it put in, and it gets put in the Monday paper, the 6th.
Okay.
15.
Monday, June 6th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I mean, I'm giving her time to, if she gets it in the paper on the 6th, that we're gonna have one, we could set it for, I don't know what you guys are
Or
looking
do
at
we
for,
wanna take it,
because
to
it
the
wouldn't be,
board?
it wouldn't be after.
do we wanna take it to the board to announce that we wanna have the public notification?
We don't have to take it to the board.
Now, everybody has to be notified within, I don't know the whole detail, either 200 feet or
It's
300
300
feet.
feet
So that would,
within the address.
be okay, it wouldn't be, pushing for them to get that information and get the notices mailed out.
No, that's what I'm saying, is if we set our date and we tell Kathy when we want it, so what I'm saying is if we decided to have it the last week before the holiday, then we could possibly have it, you know, before July 1st. And that gives us plenty of time to get the public notice out. So if we set it
What would be July first?
23rd? We set it for the twenty-third
Friday.
of June.
That's a Friday?
So July 1st is a Friday, so June 30th would be a Thursday.
Would be a Thursday, that'd probably be better one.
It'd be better.
Yeah.
That's the holiday.
I would say that's the holiday weekend when people are gonna be
Yeah, so.
leaving, and we wanna make sure
Thursday's
that if anybody is affected, that they have time, I mean, or we could even do
Or
it
we-
Wednesday the 29th, or, you know,
Can we do the 23rd of June? Is that enough time? That should be more than 15 days.
that's pushing it to make sure that in
Okay.
case she can't
Why
get it in the
don't we
paper,
go the week after the holiday?
we can do it the week after the holiday
Okay,
too.
might as well do it the 7th.
I think
We're
that
already
work
here.
better, that way everybody will be back from vacations or out for the holiday. I
On the
think it'd be
seventh,
better.
we already have a planning meeting scheduled.
So what we'll do is we'll make sure that we put the public hearing portion,
That's pushing that way out.
it's
How about
pushing
we
it
do
way out as
6
well.
o'clock on the 7th, and we get that first hour, we get these applications done. And then we start the rest of our meeting after.
Well, there's only gonna be one application, the other one, which was, boo-boo on the clerks,
Oh, okay.
because that's actually to go to the ZBA instead of the planning commission.
Oh, okay.
Let's do it on Thursday, so the poor guy knows where he's staying, so you can,
What's that?
let's do it the first day of July, or Thursday, the guy knows where he's staying, if he's got it.
Yeah.
The first week of July? Is that the,
Do
The
it
same night as our
7th,
public,
same day.
as our planning commission?
No,
Yeah.
no,
so,
Leah's saying on the 30th.
yeah.
What do you guys think?
Oh, on the
Are you
30th.
guys the ones that applying for this one?
No, they're not
Okay,
here.
just wanted to make sure.
We think it's a good idea, though, you should get them going.
Yeah.
Right.
So you want to start
Sooner, and since you asked, let them
Well,
get, let 'em do
Well,
his thing.
I'm just saying that we, you know, just in case Kathy can't, she's gotta get it out, the notification out. If we did it the last week in June,
7 o'clock?
Well, if you do it the last week in June, and the paper only comes out on Thursday.
oh no, we're doing this in the daily news, we're not doing the Lakeview News for a public notice.
Oh, okay, alright,
I don't feel that we should do that because,
okay,
That only comes out.
Run into
it
the
only
Cato
comes out on
issue.
Thursdays,
right.
one day a week, so public
That-
notices,
We don't, that last week of June, we don't have to do it on a Thursday, do we?
no, we can do it on the 29th. We can do it on the 28th.
The 27th, so what do you think, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of that week?
Well, where does your 15 days fall in at?
Well, then, if we get it in this week here, it'll fall this week here, so that should be the 15 days easily.
Okay. I would say, yeah, that last week, there's someplace in there, that would be good for,
So,
like you said, get them going on it.
yes,
That,
that's
that
what
would
I'm
be,
saying.
that's all you're having, is just that.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm
for
saying.
him.
Just that.
Okay.
And that way it's,
That way we've got
People
the-
be done, they go there on Fourth of July weekend.
I wanna
Yeah.
encourage more.
Some
folks.
people
Don't
want
wanna
it
do that
Thursday.
Tuesday?
Is that good?
Tuesday?
It's fine with me.
Okay, that's the 28th?
Yep.
That will be done, he'll know, and people will be able to go there, Fourth of July vacation, no thing.
We're doing it
Now,
at
that,
7?
okay, but if we get approved the special land use on that, it's still gotta go in front of the board, right? Before
This is for a
the
home
board
base-
can approve
it's
it?
not a special land use, it's a home-based business.
Well, that's, classified as a special use.
Use, yes.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do this at 7? Or do
28.
it on the 28th, 7 o'clock?
7's fine with me.
Just that one thing will be done out here.
5 minutes.
Then are you available?
This isn't gonna be at all
Shouldn't
night.
be long.
That's why I know where he stands.
It's
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Might know if anybody's problem, once you got, what did you do it?
Is that happening? Don't know. Sounds like it's happening down there.
Yeah, it's down there.
Is that metal plate?
Metal plate in your leg.
Okay, so what's the motion then?
The
Who's
motion
doing
would
it?
be get a special meeting for June 28th at 7 o'clock for Dan T. Strutter for his home-based business.
Okay.
If, need a motion, or, ask somebody to make a motion.
motion to have a meeting?
And we gotta have a second to,
Yeah, second it.
and then we need, been moved and seconded to have, meeting on June 27th,
Special meeting, yep.
On June 28th at 7 o'clock for Dan T. Strutter for his home-based business at 15731 West Hampton Road. Everybody in agreement?
Yes.
All opposed? Motion passed.
So, cause that's gonna be we'll have her put out the public notice for the special meeting and the public hearing, and so that she can send letters to people surrounding that address. So that they are aware.
I also had down here, because we, got started on our solar ordinance, we've got the ones from Sydney and Leewa.
It's Riga Township. Let me go back to the ZBA, so the zoning application for David Riley, that has been changed to the ZBA.
Yeah, that was actually supposed to be for the ZBA, and it was sent to us. So that's a correction that I'll make with Kathy.
And then when will the ZBA meet then for that?
I have no idea.
Okay,
I don't
I'll have to
know
ask
when.
Kathy or Doug so that we know when that meeting is scheduled, so that we can attend that as well.
And I think that was because there was supposed to be a variance on the property line.
I'd have to look it up and see,
It says 50 foot is
all the
side,
variants for, what's it say?
it's a bar, a garage he's putting up.
He wants to go from 50 feet to 10 feet from
But it's a
line.
50-foot setback on a side yard?
No, it's not there.
That's what the thing says. I can't read a side yard. All the things I read in here are 10 foot.
Like, okay, variants right here. Okay. Setback 50 feet, he wants 10 feet. Okay, that's, corner lot, okay, there's 2 front yards, because it's a corner lot.
Oh, that's considered a front?
That's considered the front, that's why, you know, a corner lot that has 2 front yards, and you gotta go by the setbacks.
And with that, you've gotta leave so much for the visibility of the corner.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if we have clear vision area on there in our book, it's,
I looked at the site, it's not gonna be a vision problem. It's
Yeah.
back, he's 100 and some feet back from the front yard, he's 120 feet back or something. But yeah, the side, so that side is considered a front? That's a corner.
both roads are, yeah. In our definition under, corner lots, that's what it says.
As far, we all set with that then?
Yep.
I was also thinking that with this, ordinance for the solar, I just barely started getting reading it. I think we've got enough on our plate, I would like to table, if we'd have a motion to table the work on the solar ordinance until we get some of these other done. If anybody would like to,
Who we set the solar side for, well,
anybody to second that?
I'll second that one.
Moved and second to table the solar ordinance until we get some of this other stuff done. All in approval?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. I don't have nothing else. Does anybody else? All right, that leaves us for a public comment.
I don't know how you hold that thing.
What does that mean for the solar? Do they get to do what they want until you
No,
guys get
this,
to?
what that is we're trying to set an ordinance, so they've got, guidelines that they've gotta follow.
who's that fell for solar, so.
So it's not.
Like setbacks and
Right now they
how
can't
high
do
they can
anything,
be, and if there's a.
Noise level on the regulators.
So these guys are from Keene Township, where they kind of got railroaded.
They're getting back, so we're not solar already.
Yep, they,
Oh,
So we're just trying to
that's
stay out of it.
northern Ionia.
Bring to us for information too.
oh, where's
We've
your
got to-
township located?
About
In that-
south 40 minutes, southeast a little bit.
It's Saranac.
Oh,
we've been to a few other townships and some of their solar stuff, their ordinances sound pretty downright,
One-sided.
Restricted?
Yeah.
but ours is just,
Let 'em do.
Those-
They have no sound.
Yeah.
They have no sound ordinance.
So this first
At
couple
all.
hours is pretty interesting for you then, huh?
Oh,
we
this
ain't been to a
sounds,
planning commission meeting yet.
no, that's good.
This is my new hobby.
It's a great hobby to have, I'll
It
tell
is,
you.
it's great.
Who are you, so that we can make
Yeah.
note of that?
Carl Heiler.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, one of the other townships we went to, they had a solar ordinance and they made it difficult but reasonable, where you had to have third party, surveys and drainage, glare studies, the environmental impact it was gonna have on the surrounding areas.
We got some endangered turtles on one of the
And
corners of the
I
town.
think what they did was they limited it to what you can't just throw 40 acres of solar panels somewhere and next thing you know, 10 miles down the road, the neighbor's house is flooded.
Yeah.
Well, where'd all water just come from? Well, it ran off of things way over there.
Yeah.
Some of the, I call them the wealthier townships have already set it up so they can't get into there. So they're taking these rural country ones where nobody goes to meetings, like nobody goes to a meeting. And they sit down with the board and they write the rules for the board and then the board goes, yeah, that sounds good.
Who are you talking about?
Invenergy.
Who's your solar company?
Invenergy.
What?
Invenergy.
Energy, the same ones that were over in the thumb with the wind project.
Yeah, so they kind of backdoored it and pretty much the board members are the ones that signed up to lease their land to them. A couple resigned, some voted.
It's a little bit of a conflict
Yeah,
of
and then
interest.
Nobody even knew it till like March of this year. It's been going on for 2 years. Somebody goes, well, why are these poles out in this field? Uh-oh. And nobody knew anything.
Sounds like our wind issue.
They notified everybody, but it's hard to believe since nobody knew anything.
Well, notifying someone and sneaking in it, two different
Yeah.
things.
Well, you said, that business, for instance, you have to notify people within 300 feet. No one was notified when this stuff was happening within any feet of this thing.
No, but that's the way they operate.
Yeah, and they're basically gonna turn all the farmland into agricultural, or turn it into
Industrial.
industrial solar.
Barren dirt
Even
farms.
Even though other people in the county would like to acquire farmland, but they can't, because
Now they've got it all signed up.
yeah, they're gonna turn it into this.
And I believe that, PA 116 is Farmland Preservation Act.
That's in the contract. You sign, the
You sign
landowner
away.
has to sign off on that to pull it out of the government, or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
put
they'll
back taxes on that, for all the years they've been in there, that's gonna cost them a hell of a bunch of money.
I don't think they know that.
Well, they will.
Yeah, 'cause that PA 116, they get their property tax back to keep it agricultural. But if you sell that property or rent out for something non-farm, get rid of it, you have to pay all the back taxes with interest.
Yeah, 'cause
Interesting to know.
I know,
See, they don't know that because the people, what'd you call
I
it?
think it's Invenergy.
Energy.
They won't tell them that.
Of course not.
Till they all
It's
sign
all-
on, they sign on the dotted line and now they're sunk.
Yep.
Yeah, to my knowledge,
It's all sweet
nobody,
nothing.
nobody outside of the people who signed the contracts have seen a contract. And to my knowledge, maybe the people that signed them never seen the whole thing either.
They didn't read it anyway.
It's just a dollar amount up
Year by
front,
year,
so
all the
everybody's
interest
jumping
adds
on
up
board.
that
Oh,
year,
sure,
that year,
They get paid more money to
right
leave
down
that.
the line. So
Yeah.
That's a good way to lose your property.
They have
Well,
lawyers trained up for a reason.
And one of the things that
they don't get much
actually
money
made it out of
to pay
it
off
was,
back tax.
I think when you sign the contract, they got 7 years to build it. Then 25 years starts there, and at the end of the 25, they have the option to renew it. You don't have the option to cancel it, and they can sell it to a third party on top of that.
Oh, they will.
So who knows what direction that will go?
That's what they do, they install it, then they sell it.
Yeah.
That's why we're trying to get a solar ordinance in our paperwork, so
Yeah.
that.
Trying to get ahead of
You guys are trying to
Come
limit
in
it.
and do what
They
they
You're not
can't
trying
come
to
in,
shove
they
it
can't
everywhere.
do anything
See, our township is just trying to cover every square foot they can.
Yeah, and the one township we had that
Single
had
township.
reasonable ordinances, they allowed for like small personal, but
No,
they
no,
also made
this
them do
doesn't
the
benefit
environmental
township at all.
impact study and the runoff,
Doesn't help us.
third-party runoff drainage and,
That's, we're gonna have two, we have a private solar and then the big industrial like you're talking, there'll be two ordinances to cover both, each one separate.
Cause that's what we're trying to work out with the
Well,
wind
that's
too, is
it,
two
like,
ordinances.
the local, chicken guys have a big solar-ish field, and that's for them, that's great, like, who would be
it's
against
on top
that?
of the buildings,
That's-
it changes
Yeah,
nothing.
it's totally for them, it benefits the local, it helps, it's not getting shipped across the country, cause.
Yeah, a lot of the apple orchards
No.
got them too. You can't see them because the
Yeah,
apple
yeah.
orchard buildings are so tall, they put the apples in. A lot of them have, solar panels on top of them. But like I said, that changes nothing for anything other than
Right, yeah,
it's on the roof.
that's a good place.
Make the roof last
Yeah,
longer,
so
hopefully.
we're not taking up precious land. Hey, so speaking of this, since these guys brought it up, and made me think about this, perhaps we need to ask our board to put a moratorium in on solar. And I think we should ask it for a year and a half. I think 2 years, I'm good with 2 years.
Yeah.
Let's do a 2-year moratorium on any solar. Make sure that we have a,
Private and commercial or just commercial?
You
I
can't
think
build.
private and commercial. Because we don't have anything private currently. And it's becoming popular, and I think we need to make sure that we do it right.
Ask for one.
I like that.
What's that?
Ask for
Yeah, that way we've got plenty of time. If we
The-
get done sooner, cool.
Exactly, if we get done sooner,
I-
that's fine.
Holes in the ground.
Robin,
What?
Robin,
What?
I think they're farther along in their ordinance. I think they're actually
Okay,
possibly
so-
finished.
Here's my motion, my motion is to ask the board for a moratorium on solar panel applications,
Solar system,
commercial or,
private and.
commercial or private,
It's really
for 2 years.
been a motion on a moratorium on our solar ordinance for commercial and personal for 2 years. It's been moved.
Anybody
Can
second?
anybody second that?
Yeah.
It's been moved and seconded to put a moratorium on our solar ordinance for commercial and personal, solar farms for 2 years. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes.
Are you talking about the application or the,
Keeps them from being able to come
Yes.
in.
or the ordinance?
Special
Cause you'd have to have an ordinance before you have a moratorium.
That's what we've got 2 years.
No, we don't.
Oh, you
No.
don't? Okay.
No, the moratorium says that nobody can apply.
Yeah.
We
We
can
have
work
2
on the
years to
ordinance all
work
we
on it.
want, if the ordinance gets done before the 2 years is up, fantastic.
Okay.
But that gives us a timeline, that gives us time to relax, take a deep breath, let's look at a lot of things, listen to people like this who are getting railroaded by
Yeah,
their other
just don't
townships.
do it without everybody knowing first. And it's
Just
kind of,
don't do it.
it's a shock to everybody.
Yeah, exactly, it was kinda like the wind around here,
Yeah,
and that's what we dealt with that.
yeah, it's, when you do things like that, it doesn't give a lot of confidence.
Have you asked that company for a copy of their contract that they're using?
I don't believe it.
There's a group of girls that know a whole lot more than we do, but.
I
Well,
bet
the
they're
people
women,
is-
not girls.
The people that signed contracts had to sign non-disclosures too, so I'm guessing they probably ain't giving anybody any contracts.
Should ask.
Well, it's a lot different than Apex because they gave them to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, not, I'm saying everybody that they knocked on their door, I mean, we got 2 of them. We got one for ourselves and one for our son. I mean, that's the first thing they hand you, read it, tell us what you think, we'll be back in 2 days.
I wandered
They give you
into
2
their
days?
office,
Well, I'm just guessing, you
I
know.
wandered into their office a couple months ago and said, could I have a copy of that contract? Sure, they handed it to me, so
I can find out.
I was just curious at what it said, whether
You
it's
know where their
protecting the
office is at?
farmers.
I can figure it all out, no?
Yeah, I know from the little pieces that I've been able to put together what we have, well, actually, I think they have some of it.
Well,
They have some of the contract,
yeah,
I seen them
couple
posted,
girls do.
but I don't think we have the whole thing in entirety.
I think you need to try and push to get it. What did they hide?
I'll get it at home, yeah.
What's that?
What did they hide? Get it, have the ladies push to get it,
Yeah,
the whole thing.
yeah, we're-
Otherwise.
And then have Josh take a look at it.
That was my thing, when I went in to ask for the wind ordinance one, I thought, if they tell me no, then I wanna know what type understanding what they're doing,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, from what I understand and I can tell, I don't think the community wants it, and the board is really pushing it hard.
There's a couple.
But there's a couple farms on the board that signed up for it,
Yeah.
so,
We got stake in the game, it's hard to say no.
Well, they're conflict of interest, they shouldn't be on the board.
Well,
yeah.
they're not voting right now.
Doesn't make any difference, they shouldn't even be working on it.
You wouldn't think so.
Yeah,
No.
conflict of interest, I mean, I don't know what your bylaws say, so there you go. I mean, just depends on what
I
your
say
bylaws
there's
say.
a couple, we're, just now getting into this, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check on your bylaws
There's a few,
first.
there's a group out there.
Anybody else got any?
Any more public comment? Too late. Robin, are you trying to give us something or?
Motion to
Oh,
adjourn the
okay. I
meeting,
thought
is
you
there a
were-
second?
I'll second it.
All in favor of adjourning the meeting?
Aye.
Aye.